Mike Dolman wants to know, what are your memories and interactions like with Andre the Giant when you worked in the WWF?
Got along great with Andre. If Andre liked you, he was nothing but good to you. I sat in on a few of those drinking extravaganzas at the hotel bar where he would drink 22 bottles of beer or 10 bottles of wine or whatever it was. It was something to behold. The one thing also that I was unfortunate to see was how bad of pain he was in, how bad his back was at that particular time. And when we were there, his back was really giving him fits. To try to fit in a first-class seat on a plane was misery for him. To try to get in a rent-a-car was misery for him. Any normal bar stool or chair or booth or anything that he could, what you and I would deem, okay, well, this is fine, was like him just, it was just miserable for him. And to see him suffer through that and to get on those 6:00 flights every morning when you knew his back was just killing him was heartbreaking. And he had such a big heart. He just was a good guy. If he liked you, if he didn't like you, you better never come around him because he let you know.
Chesler writes in, what are your memories of working with the Mega Man, Tom Mcgee, in the WWF?
Well, Tom was one of those physical specimens. It was like Luger. The guy looked incredible. I guess he had background as a gymnast or something like that. He could do all the, over the top to the floor stuff, and that a guy his size normally didn't do. He was very green. He really was just getting started. So he wasn't very far along. And I think it was a test more than anything to see how it would handle not only wrestling that guy, but putting him over. In those days, you had a lot of tests when you first went to work for WWF. They wanted to see if you were going to balk at, doing business. And I certainly was not going to do that. And I did my best to have a good match. I would say probably it was not stellar. I haven't seen it back in, God, I don't know how long. But I can only imagine it was so-so at best.
Sean Buchanan writes in, did you ever get in the ring with somebody that was deceptively strong? Like when they do a certain move, you think, my God, where did that come from?
Oh, God. Well, you knew that Rick Steiner was a beast. Probably the one that humbled me more than anything is Ron Simmons. When he first started, buddy, when he whipped you in and gave you a power slam, I felt like a baby in his arms. And I knew he was a 600-pound bench presser. I knew he was All-American football player. He was actually in line for the Heisman, and he was a friggin' lineman, which is unheard of. The guy was a monster, but until you feel it, you really don't understand. He was something special and something different and just really, really strong.
Carlos wants to know, what was your favorite pay-per-view event to wrestle at? Like Starrcade, Halloween Havoc, whatever.
It would just depend on who the opponent was and what the story was. They were all important. They were all big. It was an honor to be featured in a pay-per-view, because you always weren't featured in them. If you were and you had a good storyline and it was a big match, it would just depend on what the circumstances were. They were all different.